We are live. Welcome, everybody, to Five Foolish Mortals, the Christmas Carol Review Show. And we have here with us today, we have Jim from More Mince Pies, please.
Good afternoon.
We have the ghost of PTV, Ben. Welcome.
Hi, Charlie.
And then we have Jingle and Jolly Explorers, who look like they're on the QVC channel. Are you guys selling something today?
I have lots of figurines.
So
selling.
today, for $5.99, there is a packet. But wait, there's not just a half-eaten one. There's a full cracker pallet.
There's more. You get two for the price of one.
Yes.
Keep going.
Not only do they look like the QVC channel, they also look like Kelly and Ryan.
Wow.
Well, then I'm
Kelly.
Ryan. I'm Ryan. You be Kelly. Thank you.
Kelly,
Actually, I don't know if that's
Derek, you're Kelly.
We are excited tonight. We are going to be reviewing two Christmas Carol shows. First, we're going to start off with Mickey's Christmas Carol, and then we are going to be ending with a Muppet Christmas Carol. So everybody, you guys all did your homework, right?
Yes. Right up until about 10 minutes ago. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. I was still doing mine just 30 seconds ago while Derek and Greg were trying to get my attention to let them in the stream.
We're here.
Yeah.
Send the smoke signals up or something.
So,
Should we start
how would you guys like to do this tonight? It's like you want to go around the horn. You want to start off with Ben's enlightening background that he always gives us, and how would you like to start?
Just introduce yourselves in your channel. Start with you, Charlie. You're the host.
All right, I'm Charlie from Disney Nerd Herders. We are a channel that does most of the time it's Walt Disney World videos, but we also dabble in autism awareness. We do cancer review, cancer awareness, and we do local things around Massachusetts where we are. And we do live streams every Wednesday night for the Not Quite Ready for Prime Time live stream. Wednesday nights at 7. And for the foreseeable future, that's going to be about the same thing we're going to be doing this year coming up. How about you, Jim?
I live in Florida, so my channel, More Sunshine Please, is Disney World centric. I go to the parks quite a bit. I'm lucky enough to be able to do that. I live about an hour away. Coming up, this next thing to come up for me is I'm going to be on Dole Whip Dad's channel tomorrow night. We're going to be talking. He invited me on, so I guess we'll be talking about Disney and stuff. But yeah, I got a lot of Disney picture quizzes, vlogs, whatever comes across my path, I'll make a video about it. So
Awesome.
yeah.
I like the Christmas decoration video, by the way. That was
Oh,
nice.
thanks. Thank you.
How
I was
about you, Ben?
inspired by Pepper Tree Villa.
Yeah.
Yes. Watching their Christmas tree decorating videos. I thought, hey, I can do that outside.
Absolutely.
How about you, Ben?
I am Ben, Pepper Tree Villa. We refer to ourselves as PTV. And we do a live stream every Monday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. We cover the topics of Disney, food, recipes, travel, and this time of year, Christmas. And as you can see, I've had a Christmas tree behind me for almost 2 months now. And next week, I'm going to actually start taking it down live on our stream.
Oh, that's an awesome tree, by the way.
Thank you.
I was going to ask you. I was like, so when do they start coming down? Do they start coming down after New Year's?
Evening of January 6th is traditionally when we start taking everything down. January 6th is known as Epiphany, Three Kings Day, or Little Christmas. And
Okay.
that we're part of the Hispanic culture. We've embraced that tradition as well. So we do go through the 12 days of Christmas, which today is the 4th day of Christmas.
Cool. Maybe I'll be able to talk Stacy into keeping our tree up till the 6th.
Maybe. Did anyone get me calling birds?
I'm sorry?
No one got me any calling birds.
Yeah, I'm not even sure what that is. Oh.
Calling bird. I don't know.
I did get this little snowman here, and it's not so little. He's actually about 2 feet tall. It's a little deceptive, but I got him at Best Buy. I posted a picture on him on my Instagram feed earlier this afternoon, and I took my sister to Best Buy so we could get a case for her new iPhone that she got today. And we were at the register. We saw this sitting on the register counter, and my sister, who's always inquisitive about decorations and whatever Christmas related, asked about if it was for sale. So the guy said, "Let's go." Thank you so much for the calling birds.
That's a calling bird for you.
Yeah, I didn't get one of those for you.
Yeah, I'm
Let
sorry.
alone 4.
The manager of the store looked at us. He said, "Did you purchase anything today?" And we said, "Yes, we got an iPhone case." He says, "Well, then we'll just give you the snowman."
Wow.
Whoa,
Never hurts to ask.
cool.
I
bad.
just didn't want to see him. I didn't want to see him winding up in some landfill because he's too cute.
Yes.
Nice. Who knew Best Buy had Christmas decorations available?
So anyway, that's us, and I do a weekly vlog on Thursday mornings that gets posted, and it's been a lot of Christmas stuff this month, and we'll probably have one more Christmas one coming up this coming Thursday since we're still in the 12 days of Christmas. But on to these guys over here.
D&G Explorers.
Hey, we are D&G Explorers.
Or Jingle and Jolly.
Or
Derek.
Gregory. Or
Little Explorer.
Big
Big
Explorer. That's what I was trying to get at, is little big, but you kept going through everything else.
Am I Jolly or Jingle? You're Jingle.
I'll be Jingle.
And I Jolly. Ah ha ha ha. I Jolly. What the heck is that? What kind of English is that? We have a lot going on today. And to kind of give a hint of what's going on, I got my Scrooge shirt going on. I got my Scrooge sleepwear. I got my Scrooge underwear with a sack of coins on it that you can make the coins. Well,
Stop.
We'll stop that one.
Stop.
But we do Disney stuff. We like to do cruising stuff. In fact, we are just about finally, we are just about done with another NCL Escape video. We are also in heavy planning on our next
Disney Fantasy.
cruise
We actually just got our airfare
and our hotels.
all yesterday, so we're a little late in the game, but we're getting it done.
And we are very happy to be part of the 5 Foolish Mortals.
I didn't have anything like that went with our theme, so I just wore our Jilly D&G shirt. So, oh well.
You look very festive. And I love the lights in the background. And
Yes, we went to our CVC studio rather than our D&G Explorer studio.
CVC.
Is that what that is? The
You mean
QVC.
CBC.
or HSN, which is Home Shopping Network.
Yeah,
All right,
QVC is
guys.
Quality and Value Channel.
Are any of those Capodimonte? Because that's all I've ever seen on the Home Shopping Network.
years.
Hey, why don't we do a chat check, guys?
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
All right.
check.
We currently have 15 people on, so let's kind of start back at the beginning of it. Who have joined us? We did have a parent
You
troll
didn't do
chat check
brought to you by.
brought to you by More Sunshine, Please. More sunshine, please. Even when it rains, it's sunny.
Okay, we'll take that, I guess.
Sometimes, sure. Okay. Yeah.
That kind of doesn't make sense, but I have seen it rain when it is sunny, so that works.
I'll take it.
true.
All right, we have
It's
Rob
raining.
Fuzz. The very first person was Rob
Rob
Fuzz.
Fuzz!
We have Rachel Myers on the Mouth's biggest fan. Oh, she changed her name a little bit. AGC Magic TV is here. Mike Wheeler, Noah, the Disney World fan 16, Stacy Herder. We have Pepper Tree Villa, also Alex Bruner, Donna Jaworski, and who else joined us? I know I saw some other people on here.
It's chilly in
PTV2,
here.
obviously, that's Ben. And we had a troll, it looks like.
Oh,
And,
did we?
but they were taken care of, so great job, moderators. This life of ours is here. If you
Hey.
guys have not had a chance to see 'Twas the Night Before Christmas in the style of Mr. T, You got to watch it. That is awesome. Definitely have to watch that. We have.
Sore throat. You could hear him afterwards. He went live afterwards, and his throat was like.
Oh no!
Every time he does Mr. D, it's funny.
We have Stevie Leon, Expedition Greg, Mickey Sightings, Bobby Valentino, and who else do we have here? Gracie F. And I think I hit everyone. If I did miss anyone, I do.
What? Nice to hit people.
Thank you for joining us today on our third edition of Five Foolish Mortals.
Thank you so much for being here, everybody.
So we're gonna
Dilly
start a review with 2 movies.
Charlie, take it away. You're the host.
These, yes. All right. Let me just hang on. I set up some banners. So we are starting with Mickey's Christmas Carol, right?
Oh yeah, I've got stuff too. Hang on.
Look at that. I got a banner. All right. Thank you, Jim. Look at that. Let me go. You got to present that. Hang on. Jim goes through so much work. Oh, there you go. That's awesome, man.
That's a nice screen capture.
Thank you very much. It is a quite a task to hit the print screen button on my keyboard 50 times, but I did it. We're good to go.
Where's that music coming?
Well, it's supposed to be the song for the.
It is the song from Mickey's
But
Christmas
apparently,
Carol.
it's went down a few levels.
Well, you just didn't wind it that much. And then we got this for Christmas this year. It's the whole,
Action figures.
playset or action figures of Mickey's Christmas Carol,
Oh, that's awesome.
That's really huge.
which we will probably never take out of the box.
It's like a
This is
terrarium.
For the Mickey's Christmas Carol. It was done in the. I must have had it in the early '90s when it came out.
It's really shiny and nice.
So it's a Scrooge in a box.
What does it read? What does it say on the back?
Disney recaptures the true spirit of Christmas with the unforgettable animated adaptation of Charles Dickens' Christmas Carol, and it has a
It
few.
was actually released in 1983.
What's that?
The movie was released in 1983 as a
Oh.
featurette.
Yeah, because I grew up with that.
That's right. I think I had this in the '80s.
And if anyone was looking at the credits, you would have noticed John Lasseter's name in the credits.
I saw that.
He was attached to the project.
Really?
Yep.
Wow, I did not notice that. I was probably well. I'll have to admit. Okay. Well, we're talking about Mickey's Christmas Carol, right? All
Yes,
right,
we
so
are.
I'm not going to admit anything until we start doing the Muppets. So we're good. All right. Okay. So do we want to go around the horn, or does someone want to give background on Mickey's Christmas Carol first?
I think we need a bit of history here. I think
wants
we
to give
need
the
to
history
set this
lesson?
up.
Did anybody have the history lesson? I guess I wasn't prepared.
Have a little piece of information, and then I know Ben could add to it also with his Disney historianism that he has.
Sorry, guys. It might be going for a while.
Boy. So
Oh
I'll
my
just talk loud.
No.
Let me know if that's too
microphone's
loud. No. Okay. So December 16th, 1983, Disney's 24-minute Mickey Mouse short, Mickey's Christmas Carol, is released as an accompaniment.
Companionment.
I don't know.
Dilly dilly.
To a re-release of The Rescuers, which is interesting that it was paired with that. An animated version of the Charles Dickens tale featuring Scrooge McDuck. It is Mickey's first appearance since The Simple Things in 1953.
Wow.
The short features the final performance, which I told you about, of Clarence Nash as Donald Duck, the only character in the film to be voiced by his original actor, and the first performance of Wayne Allwine as Mickey Mouse. Mickey's Christmas Carol will be nominated for an Academy Award for Best Animated Short Subject. And there's some little pictures. I don't know how good you could see those, but
I'll have more.
Hang on a second. Where are you? Can I dump it back up there? I'm sorry. I missed
Too
it.
late.
Oh, here.
Very nice.
There you go. And then, Ben, I'm sure you could add a lot more to that.
Well, what I appreciated was that they took a feature that it was the first time that Mickey Mouse had been featured in a new cartoon short released in theaters in over 30 years. And Disney didn't stop doing animated shorts in 1953 when The Simple Things was released. They only stopped doing Mickey Mouse features because Mickey Mouse, for a time, wasn't nearly as popular as Goofy shorts or Donald Duck shorts or Chip and Dale. So they chose to fixate on those while studios that did animation were still doing animated shorts to go with their feature movies. 1983 was kind of an interesting era in the Disney company because they were coming towards the part where the company was almost split apart by an investor who wanted to take control of the company and split up all the capital of the company. And we probably would not have had the Disneyland that we have today had that happened. It could have even failed on its own. So we have Roy Disney to thank for taking the reins in mid 1984 to find Michael Eisner to step up and take over the reins in 1984. But this film was released just several months prior to that happening. And the fact that this film got made at all is a miracle in itself because animation was dying at that time.
Really?
Now, did you say this was shown before The Rescuers or The Rescuers Down Under?
It was
Rescuers?
It was on the re-release of Rescuers.
Yeah. The Rescuers was originally released in 1977, summer of 1977. I remember seeing that as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
But Rescuers Down Under was released in 1990, which is the one film that did not continue to propel the era where you saw The Little Mermaid and Beauty and the Beast and Aladdin and Lion King. The Rescuers Down Under was the only film that did not perform as well as those other four films.
Huh.
Yeah, I didn't even realize or I have forgotten that was even part of that mix. You know what I mean? It's so overshadowed.
Well, you know, the Rescuers as a film by itself is quite charming, but it was kind of a throwaway film at the time because they had lost their direction after Walt passed away 10 years prior. They didn't know what to do. I mean, even at that point, though, Walt had pretty much turned the reins over to the animators to do the animated movies on their own. He would just do sign-offs on it and give like simple notes or whatever because he was more interested in developing the theme park and the concept of what would eventually become Walt Disney World.
I actually like the Rescuers. I like the Rescuers a lot.
Yeah, I do too. But I embraced that film because it was part of my era. It's kind of like what people 20 years ago did with Mulan and Tarzan. Those are films from their era when they were kids. And now that they're adults, they're looking for ways to embrace those films all over again. Mm-hmm. That was the Rescuers for me.
Yeah. I like the sequel also. I know we're talking about the Christmas carols, but both Rescuers I thought were pretty good. And I think that the second Rescuers, I think, was the first time that they used some kind of a computer animation thing. I don't know what they called it, but it was at the beginning with all the going through the fields of whatever that was. That was a pretty cool shot that they did. So
absolutely.
Welcome in Pam's fam and Wade Ray J, and welcome in Tracy G. Alex.
Welcome everybody.
Kay Atwood is here too.
Kay Atwood. Yep.
Awesome.
Kay Atwood. Welcome, Kay Atwood.
Did you guys realize how many different characters from different movies and what those movies were that were in this movie, Mickey's Christmas Carol?
Yes,
that was great. There were several films represented.
It was like throw up all over of different movies into one movie.
But they were English movies.
Yeah.
I didn't notice them from The Great Mouse Detective. I just realized maybe they had him and I didn't see him, but they had Robin Hood.
No. Yeah, and a lot of Robin Hood actually.
Great Mouse Detective was released 3 years later. Actually, 4 years later.
That's
Oh,
another
alright.
one of my
I thought it
favorites.
was in
I
the
love that
70s.
movie.
And then also they had a lot of, I think, every character from Mr. Toad.
Yeah, Mr. Toe is Fuzzy-Wig, but he didn't
Yeah.
say any word in this movie. I don't think.
Even the horse was in there.
He was
Yep.
playing the fiddle or the violin.
Yeah.
Right. Yep.
But
Do you remember the name of the horse?
Go ahead.
Do you remember the name of the horse?
Starts with a C.
Yeah, it's Cyril.
Cyril.
Cyril,
Cyril.
yeah.
It's an S. Cyril.
Mole actually talked in this one. Derek said that he didn't talk in The Adventures of Mr. Toad.
I don't think he did he?
I don't remember him
Cyril
talking either.
did talk in Mr. Toad.
He what?
The character, the horse character, did talk in Mr. Toad.
No, Mole. He didn't. Mole didn't talk. I don't think.
Yes, he did. Yes, he
Oh,
did.
did he? Okay. Yeah. So
We need to read or watch our
These guys right here. Right?
video game.
Hey,
Nice.
Mole,
Nicely
that's-
done.
That's your mole right there.
he said just a few words in this movie, but I liked that Rat and Mole were in it, and also Badger was in it during the whole get together party.
And the Weasels.
Yeah, the Weasels.
Although I didn't see what's his name, Curly, or what's the bartender? I didn't see him.
But why
there.
would he be in there?
So we are talking about the Ghost
He's
of
on the
Christmas Past, right? When they're showing the party where how
Yeah.
it used to be. Yeah, because that's
Yeah.
probably my favorite part of the movie when they're showing all those different characters in there, and they definitely I definitely noticed all the Robin Hood characters, which that's my
Mhm.
favorite movie. So that was
Well, the Ghost
awesome
of
to see
Christmas
them.
Past was represented by Jiminy Cricket,
Yeah.
which I thought was also clever.
I forgot that he was in that. I liked the Ghost of Christmas Future, or not Future, the Ghost of Christmas Present, the giant from Mickey and the Beanstalk. He was, growing up, he was always funny the way he talked and everything. So I liked him a lot.
Yeah, he did a great job. That was well cast. I thought.
Yeah.
What did you guys think of the animation?
Oh, the animation was delightful. I mean, it wasn't clean because it was done during the era between the death of Walt and to the time that we got to The Little Mermaid, when the animation really was stepped up. But it was still
it wasn't clean. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. You could tell it was hand drawn as it was supposed to have been. It was beautifully done.
It looked very olden time classic type look, like it was older than it actually was.
Yeah, what I appreciated about was the one scene when Scrooge McDuck was prepping to get into bed, and he was holding his candle all over the place, and the lighting effect of the room changed as he directed his candle.
I noticed
That
that,
I
too.
really-
I was joking with Derek. I said you would think he would have set his bed on fire with it so close to his bed. But we just kind of laughed at that.
He was holding the candle up to look under his bed, but he was holding the candle under the bed briefly. Yeah, that could have been dangerous.
Yeah.
We had Wanda Byram join us. Welcome, Wanda.
Hi, Wanda.
Welcome in, Wanda. There you go, right there.
What what about positive comments about the movie?
Again,
Uh,
I did like that. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jim.
No, I was just gonna say we're all very familiar with this story, and the fact that this was only 24 minutes long was I appreciated that. However, I liked, we're in and out, nobody gets hurt. We know the story. It was fun to see all the characters. I liked that it was as brief as it was. However, we didn't. I think because it was so brief, we didn't get the the character arc of Scrooge. His turnaround was rushed, and I know you just asked for a positive spin on that, so I didn't go that way. But
okay.
But I like that they didn't mess around. I mean, it was jam packed, full of fun, from beginning to end because it was so brief. That's what I liked about it.
You got
It
to
was
think that was
positively negative, is what you just gave us. Yep. No.
I suppose so.
You got to think
That's fair.
their attention span for little children. I imagine they had to make it shorter. They couldn't make it an hour and a half. I don't.
Sure.
Yeah. Well, I just don't think that you really could get emotionally involved with the characters. Although I did tell Derek that the part where Bob Cratchit puts his Tiny Tim's crutch. Thank you. I almost said something else. His crutch on the tombstone. That was really sad and somber, I think. So that kind of gets to you. Although I don't think it's as sad as Muppets, which we'll talk about in a little bit.
So why do you
Well,
think
I
they
mean, how
cast?
Go ahead, Charlie.
Why do you think they cast Goofy as Jacob Marley?
Maybe a comic relief to not be so scary for kids.
Sure, that's a good answer.
Yeah, I'll go with that. Good. I was just wondering. I thought it was weird. It was like, okay, he's usually a funny character that kids love, and then all of a sudden you're making him this, Scrooge's partner. And I just thought it was
Yeah, but they added the comedy element of him falling down the stairs.
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah,
He was goofy.
That he was.
Yeah, I like when he.
But
Go ahead.
I said I will say this, and that is every single time a tear comes to Mickey Mouse's eye, I get the same reaction. I cry as well. How often do you see Mickey Mouse cry? You don't.
Yeah.
The only other time was when they put him on the cover of a magazine after Walt's passing.
Yeah, it was sad. It was sad. I felt that too. Can I ask Derek a question?
Yes, sir.
All right. Scrooge McDuck is your favorite character, correct?
Yes.
Can I just read you a quote from the movie?
Sure.
Scrooge McDuck is singing the praises of Jacob Marley. And he says, and I quote, "He was a good 'un. He robbed from the widows and swindled the poor." Then he laughs about it. My question to you is,
Why?
why do you love Scrooge McDuck so much?
I knew you were going to say
That is a very good answer.
And very good answer. You answered your own question.
Dilly dilly, everybody.
Why do you love me so much?
Yeah, dilly dilly. That's a good answer.
So
let me question it for you.
The history of, thanks for asking, Jim. The history of Scrooge McDuck, brought to you by the 2-volume edition of Karl Barks. Wrong one.
How long is this answer going to be?
Probably about 30 minutes.
You stepped in it, Jim. You stepped in it.
Christmas at Bear Mountain was the first time Uncle Scrooge appeared in any form. And he was inspired.
I'll just eat my lunch.
He was inspired by writing a character around Christmas time. And at that time, the year before that, I believe they were saying that there was a version that was of Christmas Carol that had made it big. And then there was some other stories that had come out, but they were based. It was a really popular story around the time, as it continues to be. But it was really, that's kind of the period where it got big in popularity. So going along with that, he created a Scrooge like character, and with distrust and some of the things that was more, the original character was more similar to what you would expect Ebenezer Scrooge was. But as Scrooge McDuck went along, his stories became more involved in adventure. So like treasure hunting and some of the stuff in history that he based real history and created stories around it. DuckTales was a good example of the adventures at
Treasure the Lost Lamp.
Treasure the Lost Lamp.
It was only a full-length movie, actually.
That wasn't a Karl Barks created story, but
No,
almost all the stories that were in DuckTales were created originally by Karl Barks. So they were all based on some kind of adventure. Growing up as a kid, that was fascinating to me. Plus, they were well written. You think comic books, they're like for little kids, Disney cartoons, but the stories were well thought, well done. And so I became more not attracted because of his wealth, but more of his excitement of adventure. So that's why I like Scrooge.
Was he always called Scrooge McDuck?
Yes.
Hmm.
And he's from
Interesting.
Scotland.
Good typecasting on A Christmas Carol, then.
Yes, very.
I thought it was pretty horrible, though, to Daisy. I'll have to admit.
Yeah, both these movies that we're going to be talking about today, they took liberties with the dialogue, with the story, and they seem to make Scrooge McDuck especially miserly, especially mean-spirited too. At the beginning, of course, he's redeemed at the end, but I was kind of shocked by that.
Walter Graham joined us. Welcome, Dougie.
You have to remain true,
Hey, Dougie.
true to the story, though, because if they're going to portray Scrooge with any type of compassion or warmth at the beginning of the story, there isn't as big a payoff at the end.
But it's not just lack of compassion. It's actually he has glee for the mean-spiritedness of his former partner, which is kind of dark, really. But especially because it's a kids show. But whatever.
He definitely projects Schadenfreude.
But it gives I mean, in any of the stories, in general, the Christmas story is someone who is bad and has ill will of people can change into someone good. So whether you're that person that you see it in yourself, or you're the other person and you witness them, giving them a chance, because eventually they might become a good person instead of a bad person. So I think that's kind of a widespread, what I take from the Christmas Carol.
They never really did a story, which could be a good idea, but a story in his younger years to answer why he was the way he was when he got older, because he said he never understood Christmas. So did he never have any background of what Christmas is about or anything? What made him so bitter and cold-hearted? I don't think they ever answer that question.
Yeah.
Well, at least not in that version of the movie.
Yeah.
They only have 24 minutes.
Yeah.
I think
for 25 minutes, that would have been too long.
I think for me, the positives, I really like seeing the different characters and how they used them in there.
Mhm.
It was kind of fun to say, oh, that person was from that person was from that.
Yeah.
It was short, very short. I'm going to segue to the bad. Jim, I agree with you. I think it was, you have someone who's been cold and heartless all his life, and then all of a sudden, real quick, somehow he manages to be the best person in the world. So I think the story writing, the transition of that was too quick. It needed to be, to me, a little bit longer
because he got the
there.
crap scared out of him. That's why.
Yeah, but they hurried the story. It was, to me, it's still nice to see all the Disney characters within the role. I just personally wish it was a little bit longer, but I do love it. I mean, obviously Scrooge. Anytime I have a chance to see Scrooge in a role, which is hard to find, I'm going to enjoy it.
Yeah, nobody's watching this version. Sorry to interrupt. Nobody's watching this version for the ultimate. It's not the ultimate version of this tale. The people are watching it to see the joy is seeing all of the Disney characters playing all of the different parts and discovering who's in this movie. So that's the joy of it. That's why people watch it. Yeah.
Yeah. The one version that I think is the scariest and has probably one of the off-putting scenes is just Scrooge with, what's his name? Alistair Sim?
Christmas Carol.
Yeah, Christmas Carol. That one is kind of off-putting, especially when, I don't know if you've seen it, but it's supposed to show the Bob Marley's ghost, but then it goes into other stuff with a bunch of other.
You mean Jacob Marley?
Yes, tormented spirits and everything, and that was just kind of freaky. That and maybe a little bit of the Disney Christmas Carol that was out with Jim Carrey was a little freaky too.
Well, as a production itself, Siskel and Ebert in 1983 gave the movie 2 thumbs down.
Really?
They just didn't. Well, according to an article that I found here, it says Roger Ebert stated that it lacked the magical visual animation that Disney people are famous for, and that it was a forced march through Charles Dickens' story without an ironic spin.
Well, yeah, that's kind of what we just talked about. We kind of agreed. Derek and I agreed with that. This, the story was rushed. There's no doubt about that.
It is much too quick, and they could have done a nicely done musical version in a 90-minute animated film. But again, I don't think the studio was set up at that time to do that kind of thing.
Yeah, plus for what it is, though, it's enjoyable. I think we all liked it, right?
Charming little short.
Yeah. Before another movie.
We've had a couple of other people join us. I believe Trace or Stacy Rogers just recently joined us. I don't know if we said hello, and then we also have Mouse Talk here. So welcome.
Awesome.
And I think Mickey Sightings. I don't know if we said hello, but welcome.
Did we say hi to Walter Grams? We saw Dougie, right?
We did, yeah,
Yes.
Dougie.
Awesome.
So what did you get out of it, Charlie? I don't think we heard too much from you.
I liked it. Again, I agree with all your points you guys made. Again, my favorite part was the Ghost of Christmas Past party, seeing all those the older characters, and I don't know if you want to call them Easter eggs or whatever to all the past movies that they had. That was my favorite part. Again, it is what it is. It's 24 minutes, so a lot of stuff was left out. A lot of stuff was fast forward, I guess. I don't know if you want to call it that. A quick run to the end where he has a miraculous turnaround in 2 seconds. But I liked it a lot better than the next movie we're going to be reviewing. So I'll leave it at that, I guess.
Oh,
Oh wow! Sorry. Bring out those gloves.
I'm just chomping on pepperoni and crackers.
Stacy, your wife was asking, "What is Greg eating? And does he have enough to share with everyone?"
I can make 3D vision if you want me to.
Yes.
Yeah, right there. There you go.
There's just no taste of vision or smell of vision. So
After Scrooge has his turnaround, and we see Christmas morning, and he brings the Cratchit family a fully cooked turkey, which he shoved into a sack of toys. Not only is that not sanitary, that's got to be messy. I mean, all those toys are covered in turkey grease, and it's just a
that's what I
mess.
was saying.
And this poor kid's digging in there. Everybody's getting food poisoning.
Food poisoning. Merry Christmas. Blech.
The part right before that was very gut wrenching when they're eating the food and they're like cutting peas and that.
And he gave him
that was very emotional.
Turkey leg.
Yeah, that was very emotional.
And Tiny Tim says, "Look at all the food."
That's like,
oh, yeah.
Poor little things like trying to get down the stairs and everything.
I think it's Mouse Talk. And they said, remember, Jim, they are mice, so they're used to eating unsanitary food.
That's true. That's true.
Samantha Lowe popped in. Hello, Samantha.
Samantha Lowe, welcome in.
So is that all we have to say about Mickey's Christmas Carol?
I think so. We've spent about the same amount of time as the movie actually lasted. So
Segue into the Muppets.
Just played the movie
Longer.
Yep.
All right, now let me just try to do this here. As we segue into.
I'm gonna have a snack while you do that. I got some Reese's here. I'm just gonna.
What is that? Reese's?
Yeah, it came in mystery shapes.
Oh.
And frankly, I've only seen 2 shapes. There's a tree and then I guess a stocking.
We had a whole bag full of Reese's trees, and then we have Reese's faces like snowmen and penguins. Ben, your favorite. And then I think a Santa and something else. We have a lot of Reese's candy this year.
Can't beat it.
Oh, Derek's getting some kind of a drink again going on. So I had a little article. I guess I could read the whole thing. It's not very long, but I'll wait until we're all ready.
I'll beg your pardon. I can't eat just one.
What is it?
It's more. It's another mystery shape.
I know. Once you start eating them, you can't stop.
I know. It's
And
bad.
peanut butter is good for
Yeah.
you. What is this?
Oh, look, it's the same shape.
Oh, wow. What did you put in?
Well, it sounds like Derek's getting a lot better. I haven't heard him cough yet.
We have.
Did you put a rum cake in here?
There's rum cake.
Oh, Lord.
And eggnog ice cream.
Oh dear Lord.
Hang on,
Good.
let me present you.
Wow. Talk about 3D.
He's right in front of the camera.
Oopsie. Oh no.
Oh, you can't frost me.
What?
You leave Frosty alone. What did he ever do to you? So what did you guys think about Muppet Christmas Carol?
Muppet Christmas Carol.
Okay, let me start here. The film came out in 1992, and I saw it in the theaters. And when I saw it back in 1992, I didn't quite like it, but I hadn't seen it since then. And after watching it this past week, doing our research for the show today, I found it to be a lot more charming than I remembered. And I thought it's cute and very well done. And I appreciated the fact that it was done the way the Muppets do things, where they have a lot of Muppet aspects brought in, a lot of visual comedy. You didn't see things exploding with Crazy Harry, but it was still very Muppet-like. And I really appreciated that they remained true to themselves. Now, the one thing that I did discover during the research of the production of the film was that the movie was originally intended to be a network production for ABC, but executives at Walt Disney Pictures liked the script and they offered to purchase it for a feature presentation to be released in theaters. And that's how we wound up with it being a movie instead of a television special.
Oh,
So it was always a Disney production.
Well, I don't know, because at the time, ABC was not owned by Disney. Disney didn't take ownership of ABC until the mid-90s. And the film was presented to the concept started to be tossed around just after Jim Henson passed away in 1990, and his son Brian directed. This was his feature debut as a director, and it was being pitched as a network special, but I guess they liked what they saw because it was released as a full-length feature film in theaters.
When they also put a lot more effort in it, because you might have just said it, Jim, but I was looking, or Ben, but I was looking at chat. Jim Henson died 2 years before that, and they were kind of unsure what they were going to be doing with the story, and it was pitched to them, and they really dove into a quality production of it, and that's when Disney saw it. That's like what you said. They said, let's make it a full feature.
Yeah.
That article I read yesterday sounded like they were already in production, and then when it happened with Jim Henson, everybody was shocked because they weren't expecting that to happen, and then they were asking, do we want to continue or do we want to stop? And they said, this is our career, this is our legacy, so they decided to continue. But I know I know Brian Henson was kind of nervous to even do this because he was stepping into his father's shoes and trying to keep the family, franchise of the Muppet Magic going. So, and then I read you that part. It was kind of creepy because the guy, I don't have that article, but the guy that took over Kermit's voice said that he couldn't sleep that night. And then when he did fall asleep, he said he had a dream that he was in a room and he saw Jim Henson, and Jim Henson passed by him and he said, I don't know if I can do this. And Jim Henson said, it'll pass. And then that's all he said. And then when he woke up, he felt more confident and more able to do the part. So he said it was more not like a dream, but more like a visit by Jim Henson, kind of giving him his blessing, so to speak, that he can do this job. So and
really
he did a good job.
Yeah. We have the Shep family joined us. Welcome, Shep.
Welcome,
And I would
Shep.
say this rum cake was given to us by Nurse Nancy.
Oh, is that the one?
This
Oh,
is-
you didn't tell me that.
This is amazing.
That is very good. Yes.
This is amazing. Sorry. Segue.
What did you add to it? What did you add to that rum cake?
There was eggnog ice cream, and then I put spiced rum on top of it.
Holy cow. Dilly dilly, Derek. I'll say that I don't think I've ever seen this. Not before we watched it for today's show. I don't think I've ever seen it before, and I wasn't looking forward to it. I'll be honest, because it's a musical. I like musicals, but this just didn't seem like it was going to appeal to me. I had mentioned before I liked Mickey's Christmas Carol because it's only 24 minutes long. This is an hour and a half long, right? It's hour 20 something maybe.
It's a full-blown production,
and it's well worth it.
So those songs are just going to prolong the agony. But I wasn't sure. I did go in with an open mind. I didn't want to dismiss it. So, and I kind of had a similar epiphany to what Ben had when I watched it. You know, I found myself enjoying it more than I thought I was going to. So, thumbs up from me. I liked it. I didn't like everything about it.
I wasn't trying to rush you. Sorry.
But I liked it a lot. I liked this movie a lot.
See, I went in exactly the opposite. I went in with it thinking that I saw it before. And then when I actually turned it on and started watching it, I remembered zero. I remembered nothing of it. I was like, I could have sworn I've seen this before. And then, so watching it, and then I had some idiotic thought pop into my head, which I think probably skewed the movie, skewed my my score of the movie. I wanted to see who's the guy from Rocky Horror Picture Show?
Tim Curry.
Tim Curry. I wanted to see
yeah.
Tim Curry as
No, he said
Scrooge.
that before.
And then
He's
my
in
brain-
he's in the Pirate Muppet movie, right? He's in
he's in
Muppet
that.
Treasure
I love him in that one.
Yeah.
But I was expecting, my brain wanted him, so I was like, now I couldn't enjoy the movie for some reason. I wanted Tim Curry.
That's a shame because Michael Caine is a wonderful actor.
Yes, he is. I love him
I
in
like
Austin, in Austin Powers, and I love him in Goldmember. And I've seen him in other movies, and I liked him in other movies too. For some reason, he wasn't doing it for me in the Muppet Christmas Carol.
Wow, really?
Yeah, I know it. So I'll take the minority stance tonight.
It wasn't doing it for him.
That's all right.
As Scrooge.
No, I'm agree. I'm not a big Michael Caine fan. I only recently
You like him in
started
this?
enjoying him more when he was in Batman.
Yes, I like him in Alfred too.
But just like Sean Connery, I was never really a fan of him until he came out in Indiana Jones, and then it kind of changed for me. And that's kind of the way I felt about. Did I say Michael Keaton? I meant Michael Caine. But I didn't think he showed enough giddiness, like the transition from like Alistair Sims, how he's like really excited and giddy. Michael Caine seemed to be more reserved in his happiness. But when we watched it again last night, I think I was a little bit more open to him being it. And I think I read a little bit more about he wanted to do a movie where his 7-year-old granddaughter could watch it because he hadn't done a movie that she could watch.
Yeah, I told you
So,
or today, I think,
I
or
read
yesterday.
that too.
It's the only one that has grandchildren to watch.
Yeah. So when it came around to him and him playing Scrooge, and then he had to sing in it, he opened himself up and said, yes, I want to do that so I can have something for my granddaughter to watch. So just finding a little bit more about him and his reasons for it and his passion for the movie. I kind of saw it in a different light when I rewatched it. We finished it this morning.
Funny, you should bring that up.
I'm jolly.
No. So you mentioned singing, although he did sing at the end. But there was an article that says why the Muppet Christmas Carol's deleted song was cut but really should have stayed. And that's why I was texting you guys earlier, because I said they cut a whole segment out that you would have seen in the theatrical version, but they haven't released it on the Blu-ray version or Netflix, Disney Plus.
I read about this.
Yeah,
I did read about this.
So I'll just read it really quick. So 22 years ago yesterday, The Muppet Christmas Carol was released, so this was probably a little bit ago, into theaters and would eventually go on to become a holiday classic. It's a film that you've probably seen if you were growing up or raising children in the 90s, and chances are the vision you saw primarily was on home video. If that's the case, you're probably wondering why the version of the movie that exists on the latest Blu-ray and Netflix instant is missing a particular scene you grew up with, the scene where Belle breaks up with Scrooge and sings the song When Love Is Gone. That is actually a very pivotal part of the movie. As the story goes, Jeffrey Katzenberg, still a big wig at Walt Disney Studios at the time, had the number cut from the film for the reason you'd expect from any typical Disney movie, the kids, which I think is kind of ridiculous because I think the kids would have liked it. Katzenberg wanted the song deleted because they felt kids would view it as a speed bump along the road of all the Muppet and Michael Caine action. Right about now, some of you are probably wondering what this scene was like. If you are one of the people who only saw that film in its theatrical version, for those of you who fall in the category, you can see it on YouTube. In the theater, the film plays the dialogue that leads up into the song and then cuts to Belle walking away with Gonzo, Rizzo, and Michael Caine Scrooge all crying. In this version on Disney Plus, it just cuts to them crying, and that's it. The scene still works to a degree, and if you didn't know about the deleted scene, it still plays through clean. But once you know that the song exists or first saw the film with When Love Is Gone added back into the mix, it's hard to watch the scene and not feel the moment's gone cold. In every version, the pivotal moment of Scrooge and Belle's parting is the moment where we truly realize how Scrooge became the way he was. If Belle had stayed, he would have had some sort of connection to humanity, no matter how little it was. But poor Belle, who loved Ebenezer with all of her heart, would be neglected and unloved. It's a parting that you wish never happened, and Paul Williams' beautiful song from the original cut of the Muppet movie is one of the most effective ways the moment is depicted. So it just goes on and on, but the only version that is in by the time the DVD and Blu-ray versions came on the market in 2012, there was only one way you could see When Love Is Gone added back into the Muppet Christmas Carol on a standalone 20th anniversary DVD edition, which is currently out of print. Both the theatrical widescreen and the extended full-frame cut are included for you to watch. The DVDs and the Blu-rays now don't have it. So I'll just cut that short. But when we...
That was short.
I'll cut it shorter than... Wow. Shorter than your answer.
But Dougie corrected or made clear that it was not in the theatrical version. When it was released on VHS, it was included and then subsequently taken out again for Blu-ray and DVD.
but
that song is in the end credits. It is sung by Martina McBride.
When we looked at the version we had, this is the standalone DVD, and on the back,
that's the
well, no, but on the back it says includes widescreen and extended full screen version with deleted scene. So I just felt that we were lucky enough to have this with the deleted scene on DVD, and I went looking for it online, and it's interesting because Miss Piggy is on the, looking at it, it would be on the left, and then in the pictures, it's kind of, she's on the right, and from what I saw, those ones weren't the extended, so I guess it has to be this picture. So I was just trying to see if you could even find it anywhere, and some of them were selling for almost $100.
Wow.
So, but I thought that was a really good part of the movie where it kind of segued into him starting to change more. So
Mouse Talk said, I don't know why they deleted that song. I feel like the love is gone for that song.
Well, because of the kids is what they're saying.
Yeah,
Because
there's
I
a
think
joke.
it's I know. Because I think it's a spew. But Michael Caine said that he wanted to play his part as a Shakespearean type part, not play it like there's Muppets around doing their Muppet thing, but him playing it like an actual person and making it serious and an actual, acting type thing. So I thought that was cool.
He said it was hard for him to keep a straight face while they were doing like the scenes.
I'd imagine that. I've seen behind the scenes footage of the Muppeteers creating stuff, and they're just they're always cracking jokes, even while they're still, working the Muppets. It's the take is over and they're still going on ad-libbing and stuff like that. It's I bet it was a blast, actually.
Remember, I told you the ghost from Christmas Present. The guy was acting and went wham and hit Michael Caine in the face when they were filming it. I guess it's on YouTube. So
Well, the adaptation of the film was written by Jerry Joel, who is the writer who established the mode for the Muppet Show in the 70s. So that's why the film felt so much like the Muppets that we have come to know and love. I think Jerry Joel also helped with the Muppet Vision 3D film that's shown at Hollywood Studios. But he gave the Muppets their sense of humor and the comedic timing that we've all come to know and love. There are other writers that have written for the Muppets, but they don't hit the mark as much as Jerry Joel ever did. The songs from the movie were written by Paul Williams, who also wrote the songs for the original Muppet movie from 1979, I think it was. So there was some continuity there as well.
Yeah.
The interesting thing on that is I thought one of the things I really liked about the production was the music, the singing, the songs they had for it.
original songs.
A lot of original songs. But when it was released, the songs were knocked as not being good songs. I believe Siskel and Ebert and some of the other top of the day critics knocked the soundtrack, which I thought it was odd that they would do that, because I thought that's still today one of my favorite things I like to hear. The
I
uniqueness.
kind of agree with them though.
I
I didn't like the song. I had trouble liking those songs. I'm sorry, I didn't get into them.
Do
Me
you
too.
like Broadway shows?
I'm sorry.
Do you like Broadway shows?
I do like some Broadway shows.
Because it was very Broadway-ish to me. Like, here comes Mr. Humbug, here comes Mr. Grinch, and just telling the story as he's marching through. I thought that was it's like a 5-minute song.
That was a good opening.
Yeah. Jim,
I'll agree. No, I'll agree. That first song, I have it written down. I wrote down all the songs, and there are 9 of them.
I have the soundtrack on cassette somewhere.
The first song is called Scrooge, and it is the best song in the movie. It adds to the Scrooge character. You learn a bit more about him. It builds. Some of those other songs are superfluous. They're not necessary, in my opinion, and they're not as good. I enjoyed that Scrooge song, and when I heard it, I thought, "Oh, hey, we're in for a treat now. These are all going to be winners."
The Scrooge song that you're talking about establishes the film's character the way Belle's song at the beginning of Beauty and the Beast established Belle in Beauty and the Beast. It was the exact same feel.
The only song I remember is the Scrooge song. So
I like the song "It Feels Like Christmas." I think that's what it's called, where the ghost of Christmas Present is singing it. The big jolly guy. I like that song too.
It's all right. It's all right. It's just not necessary. The purpose of the songs in a Broadway production or any stage production is to forward the story. And I thought the Scrooge song did that, and the others not so much. That's all.
I like the Marley song. That one was pretty good. I mean, that was
This Marley song? You know the guy's name was Bob Marley, right?
yes, but it was the Marley Brothers in this version. There were 2 of them.
Yeah.
It was Stanford and Waldorf.
I think I have a picture. Where are they?
Not that
yeah.
Marley.
No, that is his name
Yeah,
is
that.
Robert Marley.
Those
That
two,
one.
yes. I thought that was a cool
Yeah,
scene, actually.
Robert and Jacob.
Yeah, they didn't have two in any other version that I've ever seen. But
Let's face it, when you're talking about one of the older gentlemen who used to heckle Fozzie Bear on the Muppet Show, you can't have one and not the other.
that I like that they did both. That they used both of them.
Yeah, I like that.
I do too. I agree.
They're
I just
in
out of
the
all the
same
names, they had to name him Robert Marley. That's
But
all.
you know, the funny thing is that they are the only recognizable Muppets that portrayed ghosts during the movie. One of the original drafts of the script had other recognizable Muppets, being the Ghost of the Christmas Past, Christmas Future. Miss Piggy was supposed to be the Ghost of Christmas Present
Mhm.
in the original draft.
That was
But
creepy.
yeah, the Ghost of Christmas Present was actually kind of creepy and ethereal. But that actually made more sense for that to happen because the focus was on the story, not on the Muppets.
She looks like a baby doll. She looks very whimsical for the Ghost of
Yes.
Christmas Past.
She looks like she's had too much cosmetic surgery. Now, he looks at her and he says, "Oh, you're just a child." I don't know how he can tell.
Childlike
Yeah,
face.
it's awfully creepy. Look, I don't know how he didn't pee his pants when he saw her.
Well, the Ghost of Christmas Future, that was a little creepy and kind of mortifying. 'Cause I like the swirly screen and everything. That was cool, but then it's
yeah.
like raining and drabby and creepy looking. But that was cool too.
They
Yeah, I think that looked great.
they said they chose Gonzo because that would have been he was the farthest away from Charles Dickens, because Gonzo was supposed to be Charles Dickens hosting the movie.
Yeah, him and Rizzo the Rat were the comic relief. I
Yeah,
thought
Rizzo
Rizzo
the Rat
was
was.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Yes, I like that. I like those two.
But again, a very Muppet aspect of the film.
Mhm.
They were saying this version is very true to the book, and they did add a little bit more of Muppetization, if that's a word.
It is now.
It stuck very close to the original story, which is pretty unique for what you would consider a children's movie. That for them to stick that close to a book.
Yes,
Remember
they added the lost Marley brother.
Yeah, and I told you Guillermo del Toro, the director, actually thinks this is the best version of A Christmas Carol.
I watched a video from Looper on YouTube. Are you guys familiar with Looper?
I've heard of it. Looper?
They have almost 5 million subscribers. Anyway,
I'm familiar.
they had a list of adaptations of A Christmas Carol, best to worst, and both of these were on that list. I think the Mickey's Christmas Carol was number 5 or 6 on their list, and the Muppet Christmas Carol was number 2 as being the
Nice.
second best version, beating out the 1951 version, but not as good as the 1938 version.
Is that the Alice Simmons one?
That's like 1951. Charlie, is it stuck on us, or are we all on there?
No,
We're all on there.
All right.
We're all here.
Maybe I hit a button because I just see us down here.
it's not all about you.
Oh,
you know?
wait, we can do that? I just want to look at me.
Now it is. It's all about you. You know.
I thought it had a lot of cute parts. The little mouse with the "Please, sir, I want some cheese" part. That was pretty cute and sad sounding.
Cricket Fox just joined us. Welcome. She said, "Light the lamp,
Welcome.
not the rat. Light the lamp, not the
Yeah,
rat."
that was
that's
pretty funny.
Probably the best part. Yeah.
I do think that it was a lot sadder. Like this one, you can really get into the characters, and with Tiny Tim, that I think was more sad, just the way that they did it.
Yeah.
And it was in the house. They were, all crying and everything. And Miss Piggy, I think, was perfect to play the wife, especially at the end when she gave it to Scrooge and gave her a piece of her mind and everything. That was pretty
She
funny.
became the diva.
She's always a diva.
And did you notice how many people fitted fitted into that little tiny house?
Yes, the
It's like
whole
the entire village
the
went
whole
in there.
town went in there.
Yeah. No kidding.
And then they keep coming.
By the way, Jim, I'm just so you know about the critics from the reactions to the film. Roger Ebert did say that he felt the film could have used more music.
Wow. Maybe different music.
I have lots of music already.
I believe. What was the other one who does a lot of Disney's? Leonard Maltin.
Leonard Nimoy?
No,
No, not Leonard
Spawn.
Nimoy.
Live long and prosper.
Leonard Maltin. Yes,
He's in search
Leonard
of
He said the
a good
same
movie.
thing. Live long and prosper, my friends.
But like Mickey's Christmas Carol, when they went to in this case Fozziwig's Christmas party,
Yeah.
there's a ton of Muppet characters that we all know and love in there.
Yeah.
The band was Dr. Teeth and the
Electric Mayhem.
Yeah.
I almost said the Medicine Show. That's a different band. But yeah, I thought that was enjoyable. I thought they were going to perform and just break out into some sort of arena rock anthem, but they never did. But it was fun to see Fozzie and I guess Mrs. Fozzie in there, much like the Mickey's Christmas Carol. Those were both enjoyable scenes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it. I got to put them on them. They're laughing.
Sorry, just
Had a squirrel
his
moment.
mind is
We had a squirrel
having
moment.
an imagination right now.
I will say, this is my second favorite Christmas Carol. This is one of my favorite Christmas movies.
This is my favorite version, I think.
Mine is the Christmas Carol with Alistair Sims.
I like it, but it's just kind of scary.
I love how they film it. Now they said something at the beginning that when they were like scrolling through the town, they were trying to do like
That was a model scale.
and they said something about a crane. So I don't know. And they said they left it in there because they didn't feel people would really notice it. I'm gonna have to rewatch the beginning of it to see what they were talking about. But I love just the way they filmed it. The set seemed huge. To me,
Yeah.
I was immersed in it, and I like the Muppets. But I don't know. I enjoyed the music. I enjoyed the characters. I thought they did an awesome job with this movie, and it's one of my top 5 Christmas movies for sure.
I like that. I'm sorry, Greg. I was going to say, I like that opening scene. I was impressed with it immediately, and it just kept going and going and going. I thought, oh, this is a real set. They built this, and it's certainly miniature, and it just kept going. And then when they're ready to go down to street level, there's a nice hidden cut in there that they did really well. And the first 3 minutes of the movie is all one shot for all intents and purposes. It's really cool.
Stacy Rogers asked, have you seen the movie Scrooge? Not Scrooged with Bill Murray, but Scrooge with Albert Finney. It's a musical. I'm not sure if I'm aware of that.
I think we have that.
I'd have to
taped.
see that again.
I think we have it taped.
What, Stacy? When did it come out?
Early 1970s.
It was on the Looper list. It was lower though.
Yeah, I've
Was it?
never seen it.
Yeah, it wasn't one of their favorites.
The only other one I saw this season was the one with Patrick Stewart, and I was not impressed with that one.
Oh, I forgot about that one.
Was that a one-man show or something?
No, he was Scrooge.
No, I don't. Yeah, it wasn't a one-man show. No, it was a regular Scrooge thing. But I just didn't. I watched it because I couldn't sleep, and I was up at like 2 a.m. And again, yeah, I did not. I like that one. I did not like that one very much. It was okay. It's just I don't think it was very well done.
What I had heard was that he is great, but the rest of that movie isn't so hot.
Don't they have another one with what's his name that played Patton? The movie Patton.
Oh yeah, George C. Scott. Yes.
Yeah, they have one with him in it. I haven't seen that one. Have you seen that one?
Only the clips that was on the Looper video. I watched. I keep referring to that, but I got to see like 10 or 11 different versions in about 10 minutes. So
Yeah.
but they liked that one. They thought George C. Scott was actually very good, and his turnaround was was dramatic and believable. Yeah, they liked him.
Hello, Cricket. By the way, welcome to the stream.
As I would think, I'll say as a nod, even though we didn't review it, but the one with Jim Carrey, that one wasn't too bad. I like how they used the motion capture suits to get the animation and everything. Jim Carrey did, a good job. I've only seen it like maybe once or twice, but it was very different than anything else that I've ever seen before. But
The filming of it,
yeah,
the style of it was very
some of it was just off-putting though.
it's a little bit it's
Scary looking, yeah.
Well, there was a time where Robert Zemeckis was really into that motion capture. He made that movie. He did Polar Express. He also did Beowulf, and they're all like he was really taking advantage of that technology at that time.
We didn't watch Polar Express this year. I didn't know he did Beowulf. That was a good one too. But yeah.
By the way, I'm sorry to interrupt.
Yes,
I that popped on the screen and it gave me a thought. When I was looking at the songs that were in this movie and the songs that were credited that were in this movie, a couple of the first, it's from this scene actually, where they're asking Scrooge. No, they're asking Scrooge for more coal, I think.
Okay.
And so you have this shot. They cut back to Scrooge, who says, "How would you like coal on the unemployment line?" or whatever he says.
Yeah.
And then they cut back to these guys, and they're dressed in Hawaiian shirts.
Yeah.
And they say the word heat wave, and then they start singing Harry Belafonte's song, Island in the Sun. Now, in the credits, they have credited the Motown song Heat Wave, and they only said the word heat wave, which I found interesting. Like, they did not sing it. They said heat wave, and then they started singing Island in the Sun. But they gave credit to the writers of the song, Holland, Dozier, and Holland, that wrote so many of those Motown songs. But does anybody know anything about that? It's just they said one word. They said the word heat wave. I know that's the name of the song, but they certainly didn't sing it. You guys don't remember them singing it in the movie, do
they
you?
couldn't possibly copyright that one word.
I don't know what the deal was. Maybe they bought the song and they just decided not to use it. I don't know what the deal was. But I thought it was interesting.
Did you guys think the ending was a better ending than Mickey's Christmas Carol? Like, did you have all the feels and everything more than Mickey's Christmas Carol?
I did.
Charlie fell asleep.
No, I watched it twice. I fell asleep the first time. You're correct. I was very tired. I had a long day. Come on, but I did feel that it was more in depth with the second one. Obviously, they had more time to do a lot more stuff with it, but yeah, I did like that.
Yeah, it was. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the end. The fact that they invited everybody into the Cratchit house, even though it's implausible that they could all fit. I thought it was a nice touch. I that party atmosphere, like the end of It's a Wonderful Life or something like that, where everybody's in there singing a song. Yeah, I like that.
I told Derek, I think the house got bigger, it looks like, because it was like small, and all of a sudden all these Muppets are hoarded in there. It looked a lot bigger.
I like how they mix people with the Muppets. To me,
Yeah.
it makes it seem more realistic when they do that.
And they
instead of-
acted like they were real people,
Yeah.
not Muppets.
I always find that it gives you a place somewhere where you feel you could visit a place like that because of the way they mix it with human and Muppet cast.
And they had Ben's favorite in there too, didn't they, Ben?
Penguin.
They had your whole Penguins area where they were ice skating.
I love a good one.
Ben always sends the slapping movable picture and text. So.
Towards me.
Absolutely.
Another thing that I love about this is that it didn't take itself too seriously.
Mm-mm.
Like in this scene here,
I
where
was just
Sam
thinking
the
about
Eagle. Sam the Eagle's talking about I think how how best to do business or something like that, and he says it's the American way. And
Yeah.
then Gonzo, as Charles Dickens, comes in and says, "Hey, oh, it's the British way." I thought that was pretty neat to see that they weren't taking this very seriously. That they're he's not speaking with a British accent or anything. You know what I mean? So they, you know what you're dealing with. It's you're having fun with the Muppets. It's actually like Ben was talking about before. It's a very Muppet production.
It's the brilliant
with the,
Jerry Joel.
Yeah.
I like the puppetry, and I think they had some animation. You said that comment, which I don't know how they did it, but when Kermit was walking along the cobblestone road, and Robin was on his shoulder, and they were singing, Derek said you could see the ground like rolling, like they were on a roller, and
I noticed that.
Then the background was like going back like on the side. So that was kind of cool to see. But you really have to look at it to see the ground actually rolling like on a treadmill type thing.
I always find it interesting, the production, when they do the Muppets, what they have to do. And they're saying that certain times they built the set where Michael Caine was walking above them on like, it sounded like planks. And then the puppeteers were down below doing the puppets. So I always find that fascinating to how they put the whole thing together.
Probably has to pretend like there's nobody underneath him or anything while they're acting too.
Ben, what are your thoughts of the movie?
I thought it was a really, really nice adaptation. I really appreciated the fact that the Muppets that they created for the ghosts were not standard Muppets, that they created a different element and a different dimension to the film. So it wasn't completely tongue-in-cheek, that there was some sort of validity to these characters and not just some random before-seen Muppet just thrown into the character of a Ghost of Christmas Past or Ghost of Christmas Future. It gave it a little bit more of a serious tone, which at those times the film needed. It's a good film overall.
Yeah. It's still my favorite version.
I enjoyed the I'm sorry, Greg, I keep interrupting you.
It's all right, go ahead.
I enjoyed the Ghost of Christmas Present. I thought he was funny. I thought he was charming.
Yeah.
I thought he looked like Hagrid. But,
yeah.
Like I want to see more of this guy. You know? I wouldn't mind seeing him in other things.
I think they use the same puppetry. If you remember the Fraggle Rock, I don't know what the characters were, but they were like life size where a human would fit in the costume. There was that same concept for his character, for his costume. They used that same animatronic type thing, I guess, from what it looked like to me anyway. So that was cool.
But in some of the scenes he looked even larger than life than he actually was.
Yeah. They superimposed him at the beginning.
Yeah. We need to hear Charlie's reactions to the film.
He fell asleep the first time. No,
he wasn't.
I had a busy day.
What you think?
We had a busy day. I was tired.
I'm just giving that time.
Both movies, I liked both movies. I would watch them again at Christmas time. Again, I did not love the music. I only remembered the first song. Pretty much the only one that I can the only one that stuck with me a little bit. But I did like Gonzo and Rizzo. I liked some other parts where the Muppets were being Muppets, and I like the little things that they do that make you laugh. I was not too impressed with Michael Caine. Okay, in this movie, I wasn't too impressed with him. It was okay. He was Scrooge. I didn't think, oh man, he was an awesome Scrooge, but he did his job. Other than that, I thought it. I'd give it probably maybe a 7. I wasn't over thrilled with it, but I would watch it again. I wouldn't turn it off and rush over to the TV to turn it off. But I thought it was okay.
Yeah,
I wouldn't trash it.
It's a movie that you watch like once a Christmas time a year, probably.
Greg really liked it, so he gives it a 1.
Did you notice when Miss Piggy was cooking the dinner in their little hut there, and
Yeah.
the daughter was like started to eat something. She's like, you told us not to eat the food, but Miss Piggy was sneaking pieces off of it.
Yeah.
The chestnuts. Yes.
Yeah, so it's like,
I like when the daughter said, "It smells so good." It does, doesn't it? That's what Miss Piggy was saying.
that part made me giggle a little bit. So
Yeah, her daughter called her on her snacking before dinner, and then she lied to her daughter about it.
yes,
Life lessons.
It's not Sesame Street, folks. It's
I just like at the end she gave a what for to Scrooge, and then when he was saying what he was saying, she was like, "Oh, here you go," and pushes Kermit in front of her. So
in both of these movies, and I don't know if it's in every adaptation. I don't even know if it's in the book, where Scrooge wakes up Christmas morning and he's full of joy and generosity. And then he gets to Bob Cratchit's house, who he's been the most cruel to, and he plays this practical joke on him, like he's still mad at him, like, "Cratchit, what are you doing here? I thought I'd..." And then of course he comes around to say, "Oh, I'm going to give you a raise and make you a partner or whatever." But he's like, "Why do you got to be a jerk to him on Christmas morning like that? Just be joyful, like you were to everybody else."
yeah.
he was trying to surprise him.
Remember, it was very much written like the story was.
Yeah. Just
Welcome in, Rachel. If you didn't see Rachel,
Yeah,
Myers.
Amy said she bought the Muppet Christmas Carol anniversary pins. I didn't even know they existed.
Oh, that's
That
cool.
sounds cool.
That'll be a nice set.
Yeah.
I see. Derek, are you getting on your phone now to look at eBay?
No, I'm not Doug.
Oh. Are they still here? Did you guys hear that? That deserves a penguin slap. No.
Yeah, the funny thing is, though, Doug and I have a lot of the same collections.
Yeah, it's true. Very true. And just right down to the books both of you got on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
Yep.
So overall, you guys, do you think you had a good experience with both movies, reviewing these?
Yeah, I've actually been playing that movie almost every night of December when I would go to bed. It's actually a nice movie to fall asleep to as you're hearing it. And then not the way that you did, but not because I didn't enjoy it or anything like that. It's just, it's nice for background, and then you fall asleep to it.
Now, are you guys familiar with Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas?
Yes, and we watched that too.
See, I haven't seen that in years, and that was made for HBO
Yep.
by the Jim Henson company, and I remember enjoying that. Though it's very bleak as well. It's about a very poor family, but I wouldn't mind seeing that. Do you guys, having seen it, do you enjoy that or the Muppet Christmas Carol more?
They're two different. I would still say Muppet Christmas Carol more, because you're right. The Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas is more, not morbid, but it's more sad and it's not as fun.
It's a little gloomy. It's a little bit gloomy.
Yeah,
It was definitely an earlier production. You could tell it in their puppetry and how they did certain scenes. You kind of
you
laughed.
could see the wires and
strings and
stuff.
that.
But I like that. It's
They
charming.
by the time they were doing Muppet Christmas Carol, it was hard for you to see any of the wires or anything. The first time I saw Emmett's, I didn't like it. I thought, what the heck is this? But
Yeah, I remember you
I
saying
have to
that.
watch it every year now. And I actually do like it.
I do like the music in it better
Yeah.
than in the Muppet Christmas Carol.
Jim, we need to have a talk in February.
We
We'll have a
actually
talk.
we have the full version. I taped it from my mom's VHS because I wanted to preserve some of the stuff or probably all the stuff that I would watch when I was little onto DVD, because the VHSs will start to age after a while, which they already did. But I taped it, and it actually is, from what I've heard, a longer version than what you would buy on DVD. For some reason, the DVD versions are cutting out little segments and stuff. I don't know why. They did the same thing with Muppet Family Christmas. I taped that, and even though it has old commercials on it and stuff, it's the full length. I was told if you buy that on DVD, they cut out a whole section with a joke and a snowman with Fozzie Bear and stuff. So I don't like that. I like having the full version. And they're supposed to remake Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas, which I think is a horrible idea.
Really?
They need to leave it alone, though, in my opinion.
As Muppets, as a Muppet production?
They didn't elaborate. They just said that they're remaking it. They didn't say how or when or why or anything like that. I would imagine it's going to be Muppet or puppets, I would hope, but they should just leave the classic alone.
I have come across outtakes from Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas on YouTube. And that was enjoyable to watch, actually, to see. Because they spent maybe 20, 30 takes to get... what is it? A wheel of some sort coming out of a shop door right in front of Emmett and his mother, and they just couldn't get it right. They just couldn't get it right. So
the drum set.
He said,
that's right. It was a drum. That's right.
Because he said, "Here, if you guys didn't want these to roll, you should have made them square." So that's why it rolled out.
Is that on Disney Plus, Jim?
It is not. No. It's it was an HBO production, so I don't know where it's available now. It's been a long time since I've seen it, though.
You could buy it on Amazon. I'm just not sure if it's a full version. I heard that they cut something out. I'll look into it more, but this one and Emmett Otter's I pretty much know by heart, word for word.
He says the lines before they happen, and I'm like looking at him.
That's when you really enjoy a movie, is when you know it by heart.
It's even better when he starts acting like Mrs. Piggy.
What? Yes, eating chestnuts. No.
He does actually very good voices.
I've actually never had a chestnut in my life, a roasted chestnut. Have you guys? Thank you. Have you guys had roasted chestnuts before?
Yeah, I've had water chestnuts.
Huh?
I've had water chestnuts.
But like roasted, like chestnuts roasting on an open fire. I've never had that.
Those,
are they good?
I've had those many times. Yeah. You guys really haven't had roasted chestnuts?
And we have them in the house. I don't think I've ever tried one, though. Not that I remember.
Wow. I've had them a lot of times. They're
We used
good.
to roast them in England.
You gotta make sure you don't burn your mouth when you open them, because you gotta make sure you wait, and sometimes.
Oh, you have to deshell them too. I thought they were already deshelled. Oh,
Sounds like Charlie learned that the hard way.
Sometimes you gotta.
Have you seen a chestnut?
Yeah, we saw them in the store. They're like a weird.
Yeah,
They look like a slice of an orange, but brown and hard shell type.
That's a Brazil nut.
Yeah, chestnuts are pretty
Brazil.
round. They're more.
Oh,
They're
maybe
very
they're
hard and
different.
they're round, but
I don't know.
yeah, I think you're talking about the Brazil nuts. That
Does it look more like a garlic clove, like a
Yeah.
smaller?
Yeah,
description.
that's what it looks like. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, if you cook them, they're really good. You just got to be careful, make sure there's no worms inside of them, and
Wait, what?
cook them right. Yeah, you got to break them
I'm
open
not
and make sure
gonna
there's
try
nothing inside of them. But
As with most things, I suppose. Yes.
they're very good. Highly recommended.
Look for those worms and all your.
Wormless ones are very recommended.
They're just more protein.
Did you guys have anything else to add to our recap?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So I'm good.
What about the other things on Disney Plus? I've seen them. I've seen them on that they're available on Disney Plus. But there's Once Upon a Christmas, Twice Upon a Christmas. Those are you guys familiar with those?
We have those on DVD. I've never seen them.
I've seen them before, but
Maybe
it's been
not
years since
maybe
I
not in their
watched them.
entirety. I haven't seen them.
I don't even know what the story is. I haven't seen them either.
I have a feeling that I have seen them, but I don't remember them offhand. Probably if I started watching them, I probably recognize.
I do have an old. You could probably see it on YouTube, or actually maybe parts of the cartoons. But it was called a Disney Channel Christmas. It was kind of like the Disney Halloween Treat, Jim, that you knew about. It's an hour and a half, and it has different Christmas cartoon shorts, like with Mickey and Pluto, black and white Mickey and Pluto, where he gives Pluto away to a spoiled brat pig, and the father's a pig, and then the butler's a dog, and he gives Pluto away. But then at the end, everything's good.
You just did a spoiler alert.
No, the other one has like the Santa Claus, the night before Christmas. Disney actually did a version of that where the Santa Claus kind of looks a little scary, but it's actually a very good version. You could look all these up on YouTube, and I'm sure you could see them. So, but it's a compilation of all of these.
Huh.
So I think we all enjoyed both productions, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe not at the top of our lists.
This
but,
one better, I think.
I think we'd all watch them again,
I think the
Yeah.
West Coast
We
liked them
do
better
watch
than
them.
the East Coast.
perhaps.
Right?
Maybe it's a geographical thing.
Maybe.
No.
Maybe one of my favorite ones was Bear in the Big Blue House Christmas special. You guys ever seen that?
I've never seen. I didn't know they had a Christmas special.
Oh, it's an awesome one with Jack the dog, and you guys should check that out. We got into that obviously when the kids were little, and it has actually a very good storyline, a very, very heart touching, and I highly recommend it. If you guys, I think probably Derek and Greg would really like get a kick out of it. But look it up, Bear in the Big Blue House.
Noah
Yeah.
has arrived in Daytona, so he's going to the Daytona Lights event. So
awesome.
have fun. Noah,
Wow.
be safe.
Any fun plans for New Year's Eve for you guys, or are you just gonna stay in where it's safe, which is probably what we're doing?
Staying where it's safe.
Yeah.
I'm going over my sister's house where we usually play Pictionary. And you guys want to know something just between us and everyone in the world that's watching it. Avery, everybody wants Avery on their team because Avery turns out to be a really quick, awesome Pictionary drawer.
Wow.
I could
And
see
it's
that.
like, holy cow. And I don't even want to go up against him because I stink as it is, but he has something. I've watched him draw his comic books, right?
Mhm.
And he knows what zip, 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 zip. He knows exactly what is in his hands, do exactly what his mind does. Mind, what he has in his mind so quickly. It's like, wow, it's awesome. So you don't want to play Pictionary against Avery, but hopefully he's on my team this year. But that's what we got planned.
He takes after his mom, it sounds like, with her drawings too.
Stacy's awesome too. Yeah, definitely takes after his mom, not after me. You
Stacey
do not. I'm a good guesser.
Stacey Rogers says, I can't even draw stick figures.
Yeah,
What?
Me too. I'm pretty bad. I'm a better guesser.
How could you not draw a stick figure?
Rachel's going to the potato drop. I'm not sure what that is, but it sounds
It
fun.
sounds like a game.
Sounds like you have a potato and you have to run.
Well, that's like the egg.
Yeah,
That's even harder with an egg on a spoon and trying not to drop it.
Sounds like it's fun if you're the one dropping the potato, but if you're underneath, maybe not so much.
How about you, Ben?
For me, I will be working on New Year's Eve until 4:30, and then I will be heading over to my cousin's place. She and I hang out every New Year's Eve. Sometimes we'll go out to the movies. We'll definitely go out to dinner, but we'll probably wind up just sticking around at her place, either watching a video, playing games, maybe doing a puzzle, and then turning on Ryan Seacrest to watch the ball drop.
Yes.
And then 5 minutes after that, I'll be in my car on the way home to try and get in front of all the alcoholics on the freeways.
Oh,
Good
my
idea.
gosh.
Good
You're
idea.
brave to go out there right after.
Now I have a question for the West Coast guys. Okay, so no, I'm in the same time zone as New York, so we watch the ball drop
Yeah.
at midnight. How's that feel for you guys? You guys were watching that at 9 o'clock, right, or something? Isn't that
No.
weird?
We watch it.
It's delayed.
It's pre-recorded basically.
So
We
we watch
We watch a delayed version of the Ryan Seacrest. If you want to see an actual live turn to the new year, you turn on CNN.
okay.
So
So
we
then-
are watching what you see
Which you already saw.
at the same, but our local time, the same time as it would be your local time there. So midnight, and it's midnight, and we're watching the same thing. So we're basically watching a 3-hour old broadcast.
So they don't have like an LA ball drop or something.
No.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh.
They have a Fresno ball drop. It's really big.
They they have a gunshot drop is what it is, and that's the scary part because you hear gunshots going off all over.
Yeah,
and it's so scary to think that what goes up has to come down. So.
absolutely.
You serious? People
yeah.
go with their shotguns.
Central Valley has a lot of gunfire.
It's
A
pretty
lot of
scary when
gunfire.
they do that.
The bad side of the freeway sends them off over to the good side of the freeway.
Oh my God. Stop. That's not funny.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but when we watch Dick Clark's show, I almost forget that it's pre-recorded. It because we're in our own time zone, it feels like it's actually happening. And
It feels like it's midnight.
Then you think, oh wait, this was already done. We're just watching what they already saw. But it's still fun to watch.
Yeah, by the time we see it, everyone in Times Square has already made their way to the nearest bathrooms outside the barriers.
Yeah,
No doubt.
for that probably.
If they're lucky.
I wouldn't need no.
Wonder how many hours
I
it
would need
takes to
no
get
bathroom.
home.
I'd have those adult.
Okay. Yep. The
we
dude wipes, like,
need a stadium buddy.
what was that?
Need a stadium buddy.
Wow.
Call me Mr. Squishy.
No, stop.
Oh, what?
Jim, you're not going into Disney World to.
No, my the pass I have is blocked out anyway. But yeah, it's I'm not going anywhere near that crowd.
We did that once, and it was the year 2000, not 1999, the 2000 New Year's Eve thing. It was right before Avery was born, so Stacy was like 8 months pregnant, and it was like you're like standing like this, person to person. It was insane. Even to get out onto the boats to get out of the park, it was insanity. I would never do that again.
Yeah, I'm watching people take pictures and put on Instagram of the mornings at Epcot this week and Hollywood Studios, and I'm lucky enough to live so close to where I don't, I can go to the park any time of year. So I'm lucky that this isn't my vacation time, and I have to be at the parks at this time.
Yeah.
Because I don't like those large crowds. I don't know anybody that loves them, but you know what I mean?
I don't mind large crowds, but I also don't like chaos. But I would want to go to New York at least once for New Year's Eve, I think, just to say that I did it. I think it would be something to do. Yes.
I did that for the Rose Parade twice as part of a church group that I was with. Arnie physically slept in the gutter one of those nights.
Oh my God. No, I couldn't do that.
Sounds like waiting for the new iPhone to come out.
Yeah, we weren't doing that. We had a chair and everything, which I will probably never do again for an iPhone because they're just not different enough anymore.
Which iPhone did your sister get, Ben?
She got the 10R, which is I guess it's Apple's most popular iPhone because it gives you the most bang for the buck.
Oh, good to know. I'm in the market.
Yeah.
Oh.
But she did that, and they put her on a 30-month agreement with AT&T. It's costing her about $21 a month.
All right.
Which
I love
is
my S10.
kind of. I love my 10 as well. I have a 10S.
We have the X.
Is that the same thing? Are you guys talking about the same phone? X and 10, is that the same thing?
It's weird because I think Apple calls it the X, and if you say the 10 to them, they'll say no, it's called the iPhone X. So I guess they're particular about it.
So you are talking about the same phone.
Yes, the 10 is the numeral. The X is Roman numeral for 10. But
mine is the Samsung. I mean, the Galaxy S10.
Yeah.
Plus.
Oh.
Ben
I love this
Stacy
one.
Rogers asked for you to read her comment.
Yeah, I just saw that. It says, here in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, we do a peep. And if they were to use Jim's gingerbread peep, it would never break.
No.
That's actually a really good segue into what we're going to be doing on Monday night on PTV. We are going to be doing a taste of New Year's Eve. So if those of you who are going to be around on Monday, December 30th, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific, Arnie, Doug, and I, along with anyone else who has been invited by Arnie, will be joining us, and we will be doing appetizers that we would suggest people to purchase to eat on New Year's Eve. I will be going to Trader Joe's after the broadcast today and picking out the ones that I want to sample. Arnie and Doug have already picked out theirs. So we're looking forward to another fun stream of tasting food that could or may be bad. And we'll just have to come up with another hashtag for Doug. This is going back to Trader Joe's.
Yeah, can't wait.
That's PTV Monday at 10, you said?
Monday at 10, 7 Pacific.
7 Pacific. Cool. Awesome.
We have G. Wilson that joined us, so welcome. And then this is the information from Rachel about what a potato drop is. So the potato drop is just like the ball drop in Times Square, but here they lower a potato from the sky. Very interesting.
How big is the potato?
I do not know.
Can you see the potato?
I don't know.
It's a 20-foot potato.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be a ball drop, but the creator of the ball screwed up. It was malformed,
God.
and they said, it looks like a potato. I guess we can do that. We can do a potato drop."
Now,
I'm guessing that's what happened.
Jim, you did a live Christmas Eve stream, which was very entertaining. Are you going to be doing the same for New Year's Eve?
Oh, you know what? I don't know. I didn't. Maybe. I guess I'll pop on for a little bit. I certainly won't be going until the new year, but yeah, maybe for a little bit. Yeah. But tomorrow I'll be on with Dole Whip Dad, I think at 9 p.m. Eastern. And he asked me to be on his show.
So is
Every
this
Sunday he does a thing. So I'm his guest.
the interview treatment?
I guess so. Yeah.
200
we were
questions.
on his show a few weeks ago, and
That's fun.
Jeff is awesome. Yeah, we hope to have him on our show soon.
Yeah, he's very good.
Cool. D&G, what do you guys got coming up?
We have our cruise coming up in February.
Another cruise. Here we are. Unfortunately we had it's been more than 4 weeks since we released our last NCL escape video.
We've had the holidays that we're enjoying and
Yeah,
stuff, but we kind of just went on hiatus for a little bit.
Just didn't have the energy to put into it. So we are going on the Disney Fantasy, and the theme will be Disney Cruises is for adults. So a lot of people, when they hear a Disney cruise, they think kids, and they don't think a lot of fun. So we're going to show
It's for
what it
adults
is like.
also.
We're not going to do an adult version. We're going to keep it clean, but it will be what
Oh my gosh.
but we will show you what you can do as an adult on a Disney cruise. So that's going to be the focus. And we're pretty excited because we're finalizing everything. As you know, from the NCL Escape, I had the Sue Heck binder. Well, this is it right now.
Which is not even filled with
Yeah.
anything, really.
This will be done within 2 weeks, I would say. So we're excited to do the next cruise.
We're both going to add to that as far as plans and things.
I have to work New Year's and New Year's Day, but don't feel sorry for me because I get time and a half on New Year's Day.
I'm off New Year's Day.
On the weekend, we're going to visit our friends in the north here of California, and we're going to have a chance to go to Corbel Winery, which is our second visit there. So
Yeah.
Corbel is one of the
Nice.
places that can actually make legitimately champagne, because normally if you make champagne, it has to be from France, but they have some kind of rules and regulations that they can have a champagne name. So we're going to revisit Corbel Winery and have a chance to visit our friends, which we haven't seen in almost 2 years. So
Three
They
years.
like ship
Wow.
in dirt from
Almost 3 years.
Champagne region or something? How do they get away with that?
it was something in the way they got the machines or equipment. I don't remember the exact story, but I remember they are unique in the fact that they are able to call it a champagne.
Cool. Ben,
I
who's your
see.
friend?
Oh, I'm sorry.
That little Ben?
Yeah,
I like
Fucking
that.
awesome. Is it Fluffy?
yeah. This is our little guy that the Best Buy manager gave me earlier today.
It does look plush, but I bet it's not.
The Best Buy manager gave it to you?
It's actually fuzzy. He is fuzzy.
Hot stuff.
Fuzzy. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
We were talking about that.
I see in the chat Pam, who has been providing Merry Christmas to me in many different languages throughout the season, has added another one. So I'm looking at this one. I'm trying to guess what language that is.
Looks Norwegian.
It does look Scandinavian. If I had to guess, that was my first thought. Whether it's Norwegian or Finnish
I think it's Klingon.
or Klingon. That's in the same
Sure.
area.
Or maybe it's
So I don't know.
what is it that new Avatar land language?
Oh,
Navi.
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 If I had to guess, I'd say that's Finnish, but I'm gonna need Pam to let us know. I need to know what that is.
It's Czech, Czechoslovakian.
Is it?
For Happy New Year.
Oh,
There it
was
is.
not close. And then Stacy Rogers asked if I was going to be on the Taste of New Year's show. And I do plan on being there. I don't know if Pepper Tree Villa realizes that, but I am going to be there.
We were hoping you would be participating. So I think Arnie sent you what he and Doug already have. And unlike the last time where several of us had the same stuff, we're actually encouraging people to have different things that they want to bring to sample. So we have all kinds of different opinions.
That's interesting. I was planning on going to Trader Joe's or making a trip out there, but now I'm not. I'm going to find different stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good. Okay. That's what I'll do.
Amy's at a Penguins game. Have fun, Amy.
Oh, how appropriate.
Go Red Wings.
Let's go Buffalo.
As for the Disney Nerd Herders, we will be live next New Year's, not New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, which is Wednesday, right?
Mhm.
So that night we will be on with, I believe, Mouse Talks. So we're going to be going over our New Year's plans and whatnot. And then the week after that, we're going to be doing another show with the Philly Crew and Jim from More Mince Pies, Please. Mince pies. He'll probably
They're
still
delicious.
be eating mince pies, right? Yeah.
I still have 2 of them.
We
They're
had a
wonderful.
couple of vlogs that we released this week. For those of you who haven't checked out me giving Avery a haircut, that was one of them. That's always a fun time. We speed it up a little bit, and Stacy does some music things and whatnot. And then we also do we had a vlog coming out of the Living Seas at Epcot, where we went on the Nemo ride. And you may or may not, I don't know if she's listening upstairs, but you may or may not hear Sophie singing in that one. So don't tell her.
Oh,
Don't tell her though.
cool.
Yeah. So anybody else got anything else coming up that you want to mention? We're coming up on an hour and 48 minutes, guys.
Oh my gosh.
Originally, I had planned I was going to make a year in review video, putting little clips of things I've done this year. I don't think I'm going to have time to do all of that. Instead, what I'm doing is putting together a little montage of pictures of all of the different YouTubers I've met this year. Spoiler alert, all of you guys are in it, which is wonderful. So so I'll be doing that. It'll just be a couple minutes long, but it was fun to gather those pictures and then put them to music. So I'm in the middle of doing that right now.
Will you be showing yourself inhaling powdered sugar again?
No, I'm not going to show that. That's I buried that, and no,
Or Drench from Splash Mountain.
yeah, definitely not that.
You're meeting the Shadow Man?
Yes. No, all
We
that
have
nightmare
to-
stuff is no.
It's almost like we wrote a script for Jim to follow.
Wait, Jim, you had mince pies?
Yes.
When did you have mince pies?
When did I? Oh,
It was on your own live stream.
yeah, on Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
Yes, on my own show.
Wow. And I didn't
Was
get-
it?
Yeah.
Was that what it was?
Yeah, I believe so. I was home watching that, so yeah.
Okay,
How was that work?
I believe you. Anyway, it was.
They were good.
I loved them. I loved them. I thought they were fantastic.
Mom didn't make any meat for me this year, and I was very depressed.
Oh my gosh. She made other stuff. She couldn't do it this
I
year.
didn't get my mince pies.
Well, boo hoo. She did stuff. She did other things.
And I did not have figgy pudding with the mince pies. Those were all separate things.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, guys, did we hit everybody in the chat tonight? I don't think we missed anybody, did we?
Thank
If
you,
you are
everybody
in
that watched us.
if you're in the chats, thank you for stopping by tonight. And
Absolutely.
thank you for all of your support to all of our channels. Please make sure you check out More Sunshine, Please, PTV, Pepper Tree Villa, and D&G Explorers, of course. And yeah, make sure you like and subscribe. And of course, make sure you do your duty. It's a big duty. And by that, we mean like and subscribe and leave a comment. And shows you care, shows you love us, and all that stuff. So we
Share
really
it.
appreciate
Yeah.
it. Anything else? Anybody else have anything else?
Pepper Tree Villa asked, "What's the next episode?" Well, actually, we'll probably talk about that off air. What we're going to do next and when.
Yep.
It won't
Yeah.
be. It won't be a movie review.
And
we know
subscribe
that.
to Disney Nerd Herders
Yes.
also. He didn't talk about himself.
Laura
so
B. We didn't
subscribe
say hi to
them.
Laura B.
Laura B.
Hello, Laura.
Welcome.
Yes, definitely, Charlie.
And thank you for hosting us on your show, your channel today.
Thank you guys for putting up with me. I know I am really new at the hosting thing, and I feel like I do such a lousy job at it. So thank you for putting up with me. And
You were
for
great.
letting me host.
You did good.
You don't give yourself.
Appreciate it. I feel like anyways, you guys do it so much better than I do, and I appreciate you guys. All right, so I think that's gonna be about it for tonight, right? And thank you everybody for showing up in the chat.
Captain
Thank you,
Akron, hello, Captain. He joined too.
And
so.
we will see you on the next time. Is there gonna be monster trucks involved? I don't know. Maybe
We shall find out.
we shall find out. All right, guys, we'll see you next time.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.